Everybody, welcome back. Wanted to talk quickly today about eBay comps because everybody uses them, right? Whether you're selling sports cards or you're selling just stuff that you bought at a yard sale that you're flipping, or anything that you're looking up to find the value of, even stuff around the house that you might be looking to sell, you go to the eBay comps, right? Everybody knows that the best price guide in the world is eBay, right? Like, everybody knows that by now, right? Hopefully, because if you don't know that by now, you have not been paying attention. There is no price guide, there is no app, there is no scanning tool, alt, any of them. They're all trash compared to just real-time sales, because nothing in the world is worth more than what somebody's willing to pay for it. And if only there were a place you could go to look to see what people are paying for it at that exact moment. Oh wait, there is. It's eBay. So eBay is the best price guide, right? And so you want to use comps to sell your cards. So like if I have a card and I want to sell it, I want to look it up, see what it's been selling for over the last 90 days, which is what comes up whenever you sort by sold listings, right? And then I'm going to use those values to determine how much I'm willing to sell it to you for, right? But I wanted to tell you that not all eBay comps are created equal, and that you should be looking at them more closely to determine the value of your items and what you might sell them for, especially on the sports card side when things can fluctuate so often, right? Like a guy plays a good game and then all of a sudden his values are up. Well, in order to accomplish, and I've done this, I've done a video on how to accomplish getting better sale prices out of your auctions. And this is kind of like the reverse engineer of that, right? Because I've done a video where I basically told you that if you start auctions and make them end on Sunday during football games, if you're selling football cards, then you're going to get more bids on that item than if you did on Tuesday. And that's exactly why not all eBay comps are created equal, right? Because some people decide to let their auctions end at like midnight on a Wednesday, right? A work night when the majority of the world is in bed, right? And so the amount of people that are going to actually be actively looking at that item as the auction expires is much lower than had you done it on a weekend during the day whenever people are on the couch. So you should be thinking about the psychology of the buyer, right? And this is the same thing that people do on social media. There's a reason why people wait until 6 p.m. to post on social media. There's a reason why they post at 9 a.m. Why? Because the first thing that people do when they wake up in the morning usually is grab their phone, right? So if you're posting right at that time, you're going to get seen. Whereas if you post at like 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. on a work day, most people aren't even going to be looking at their phones, let alone looking at your post. So you want to post at like 6 p.m. right after everyone's off work and they have their phone in their hand, right? So that's kind of what this is about, right? Like, not all eBay auctions are created equal. Some end at Tuesday at 12:53 a.m., right? And that auction's almost definitely not going to have as high of a sale price as one, now depending on the item, but we're talking, like, let's just keep it to football cards here so that you can understand what I'm saying. If there's something else you're selling, you should be thinking about when that would be a good time to sell it, right? Like a baseball card might be the weekend, but like if there's an event or something going on, like that would create value around the item that you're selling and it has nothing to do with the weekend or whatever, you should be thinking about that independent of itself. But I'm talking about the weekend mostly because of football, and football games are mostly played when? On the weekend, right? So like if you're selling a card of an Eagles player, the best thing you can do in the whole world is have that auction end during the Eagles game and just hope that whoever that player is just breaks out, right? And so to me, like, that tells me that when I'm looking up eBay comps that they're not all created equal, that the ones that are selling on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at weird hours, I shouldn't value that sale price as much as I should one when the entire market was able to actually place a bid on the item, right? And so that's why you have to really be careful when you're looking at eBay comps. And now there's other things that go there as well. Not all eBay comps are created equal. Some of them are shilled, right? Some of them were never paid for, right? And you're going to use that comp of a guy that never actually paid the money. And so there are apps that will tell you that. But if somebody didn't pay for it and they bid it up to like $700 and they never paid for it, technically that comp never really happened. But yet, whenever I look the card up, it comes up $700. And so I'm going to use that to price the card to sell to somebody else. There are people out there doing this on purpose, okay? There are people doing that on purpose to manipulate comps so that they can then sell their card in person and point to the comp that they created. And there are some high-profile sellers out there that do this, and I won't air anybody out, but implore you to research it and see what you come up with, because there are many high-end, very popular card companies or card people that have been known to shill and pump up sale prices and or not even pay for pumped up shill bids just to create the comp, and then turn around and take that card to a card show and sell it for that price. So I just want you to be aware that people are doing this. And so that is another reason why not all comps are created equal. You really need a good subset of comps. So a one-off comp really won't help you. And those random comps, that are done on Tuesday and Wednesday, well, you need to average those out with other comps that are done on Saturdays, Sundays, good times, the times that people are actually looking at their phone and able to place a bid. I mean, I can do it at work, but chances are while I'm at work, I'm not looking at my phone, and I might miss the auction, and I might miss when it ends, and then that's just one more person that would have been there fighting over that card at the last minute. And so this is something that I needed to put on your radar so that people know that not all eBay comps are created equal, and that eBay comps are king, but you need to be smarter than just looking at one eBay comp. And don't go to people and assume that they don't know that too, all right? So if you're on the other side of the card show, like if you're not the person behind the booth, the person that's the seller, chances are they know everything you know, all right? You aren't getting anything on them unless, they're just old and out of the game or something. But if you come to my table, I'm gonna comp you right there in your face and be like, this is what it is. And I'm going to look at it, and if I see something that looks weird on the comp or something, or an offer price was taken, or it looks like it comes from a person that I don't trust, I'm not going to honor it. I'm just not going to sell you the card for that price. And you can tell me that you know and that I don't, but that's not the case. I know, and I know better than to be stupid and fall for that. So I think that's the case for most people on the other side of the aisle there. And so if you're going around thinking that you're going to fool people into that, you're wrong. But that's a whole different video for a whole different day. We're going to keep this one to not all eBay comps are created equal. There's a psychology of the buyer, and you should be thinking about when the buyer is ready and available to bid on your item. And items that ended when there was a larger market of people able to buy them are truer to the actual value to the entire market than ones that were done at such weird times that a very limited portion of the market was actually able to participate in the auction. And so hopefully that makes sense to you. Hopefully what I'm saying you understand as truth, because it is the truth. I'm not lying, and there's really no arguing this. Not all eBay comps are created equal. So if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to the page. I'm always talking about sports cards, flipping content, how to make money, dropping little nuggets of information on you. But this is one that I want you to really take seriously, because when you look a card up in front of a card dealer or at a card shop or whatever, and you say, hey, it just sold for that, that's meaningless to me until I'm able to look and investigate myself and see what exactly happened there. Was that a true comp? Or was that a manipulated comp? Or was that an undersale? Or what was that, right? And so I need to be able to look at it. So don't ever trust somebody also when they're showing you comps. Look for yourself is probably the other thing to learn there. So like I said, if you want to see more videos like this, flipping, card content, any way to make money out of nothing, you want to go ahead and subscribe to this page. I hope you liked the video. If you did, go ahead and like the video. It's that simple. Or comment what you've been noticing about eBay comps, or why you think I'm just dead wrong. I don't really care. Go ahead. But in the meantime, keep on flipping.